Okay, so this is our last video and it won't be too long. Now we are combining all of it. So we have translation where it shifts left or right or up and down. We have a stretch where it gets closer to the y-axis or further from the y-axis, or it gets closer to the x-axis or further from the x-axis. Then we also have reflecting, which means it's going to flip and the slope is going to become negative or positive. And then we also have translating vertically. So instead of going from left to right, it's going to go up and down. So we're combining all of those. So let's review with this core concept. So it gives us this y equals a times f of x minus h plus k. But it also gives us f of ax minus h plus k. So these are just showing us our different options for how we can manipulate a line, our function. So let's run through these. You can first translate a graph horizontally h units. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It has to be on the inside. So it's that inside x minus h, or on the inside an x plus h. Now remember, this x minus h becomes the x plus h. Okay, it's important to remember that there is a negative h there. We also are stretching, so that's this a, and it's either with x on the inside or it's outside of our f of x. Okay, now we're reflecting, so it says a is less than 0, so this a is the same one as that. It just depends if it's negative a or if it's a positive a. And then we're translating, that's that plus k on the end, or it can also be a minus k. So we have just a real simple parent function, and it's just f of x, so we got that graphed already. And now we have our new function, and it is negative 2x plus 3. Okay, we're going to describe it, and then we're going to graph it. So is there a horizontal translation? Well, we just talked about that. That's our minus h on the inside with x, and we do not have a minus h there. Our stretch is a. What does our a equal here? Okay, it's negative 2, and negative 2 is squished with x and only x. So we know this is going to be only with x, so that is horizontal. And then it's greater than 1 according to just the 2. We're going to look at just the 2. It's greater than 1, so it is a shrink. And now we're going to ask the reflection, is it negative? Is our a negative? And it is in fact negative. It is negative 2, so we can expect that to reflect. And because it's a that is negative, we can expect that to reflect over the y-axis. Let's write that. And will it translate vertical? That's our plus k. And our k is 3. So what we're going to expect it to do is it's going to horizontally shrink, which means it's going to get closer to the y-axis. And then it's going to reflect, so it's going to be flipped, pointing the other direction. And then it's going to shift up 3. So I'm going to draw us a little table so we can check our work. And we have g of x. We're going to plug negative 1 in. Negative 1 times negative 2 gives us 2 plus 3, which is 5. Plug in 0, we get 3, and we plug in 1, and we get 1. So let's go ahead and plug that in. -1, 5. Okay. 0, 3. And then 1, 1. Now we're on to our next example, and I want you guys to go ahead and try and dissect this for me. So I'm going to have a Google form, and I'm going to ask you, is there a horizontal translation? Does it stretch? Does it reflect? Does it translate vertically? Okay, so you're going to have to look at g of x and see what's all there. Is there an x minus h or an x plus h? Is there an a? And what does that a look like? Is there a negative or a change in sign? Translate vertically. Is there a plus k or a minus k stuck on the end? Okay, those are the questions you're going to have to ask yourself.